Hello, my name is Chimkin, and in this video, I'll be going over everything you need to know about reincarnation, sacrificing, and pledging. But before we get into that, we need to go over talent points. That's basically the whole reason that you reincarnate in the first place, is to get inherits. But we'll get into that in a second. Now, we have a talent tree that we can access by pressing T. Now, this is a bunch of things. It's sort of like Skyrim, where you can put points into things that will help you in certain ways. Now, for example, we have the speed tree, and sure-footed let you run faster down hills. Strong legs will let you run faster up hills, and so on. Now, you can put 3 points into one talent. Now, in order to build a tree, you have to start from the middle area. And to do that, you have to left click points, obviously. And the further you go up, the better supposedly they get. Now, for example, you can't put just 1 point in there without the talents leading up to it. You sort of have to build yourself up by like putting points into that. And you can put a maximum of 3 in one talent, but it has to, have sufficient points in the previous talents. Oh, there's a trophy flying there. Oh well. Now, you can basically build whatever you want. It's really cool that way, that you can play a dinosaur, but you can play it differently each time. You can try different builds. I personally do speed combat on Para, because it is, the superior build, but you could do combat survival and be an absolute tank and die to everything and everything. But the next thing we're going to be going over is inherits. Now, inherits function a lot like talent points, but it's basically free talent points. Oh, I should mention that you get more talent points as you grow older. That's a pretty important part. I forgot. But once you hit certain growths that you get inherits at, for example, 0.45, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, and 1.2, then you will get inherits. Well, if you're lucky, I suppose. Inherits function as talent points, but they're for free, basically. So if I get a +1 in sure-footed, that means my sure-footed talent will be a little bit better. It's not as strong as a talent point, but it helps. It definitely helps. You can get either a +1 or a +2, depending on your RNG. Now, the next thing we need to know before we start reincarnation is our trials. You can check our trials by pressing O and then going into this menu. You can see our trials. We can see our travel distance. It is displeased at 24%. We have a bunch of other things we can go at, but the main thing we need to focus on is our speed or mobility. I say that because once you fulfill your mobility trials, you sort of inadvertently do the other ones. Now, this is excluding survival. Survival actually requires you to have friends, for example, friendship grade or total offspring, stuff like that, which isn't really possible for a Bermuda player like ourselves. But anyway, we can overcome this obstacle by pledging or sacrificing, but I'll get into that later. So the first thing we need to do on our new freshborn creature is travel distance. This we don't actually have to worry about, because by doing other things we already just run around. But the main goal we have is water sources visited and shrines. Now, shrines is the most important trial in my opinion, because it's such an easy thing to do, and it covers a lot of trials. For example, I'll show you. If I discover this new water source, Palm Paths Pond, we can see that we have discovered it. And now we have 2.5% of our complete trial. But for a shrine, getting one will give us 33%. So it is important that we get all 3 shrines before reincarnation, because that is about 15 water sources, essentially. So what we want to do is we want to go from biome to biome and take a little sip out of every water. And that way we will fulfill our water satiation trial and our water sources trial and our water quality trial, as long as we don't, drink bad stuff. You can see that we have just inherited tough stomach and stoic. For my build, I am going to be going speed combat, the superior build. I'm going to be going full combat so that full speed, so that it's easier to travel the terrain. When you kill someone, you also get hunt points, which is a trial by itself, but we're not going to worry about that yet, and I'm sure an opportunity to hunt will present itself very soon. Alright, we have got our second water source visited. The thing I'm going to focus on is getting all our shrines, so I'm going to go to the speed shrine now. Alright, I'm going to speedless. Now that means I need to get a trinket from a shrine that is not the speed shrine. So you can see we're at this combat shrine. I'm going to interact with it. I'm going to press take trinket. Let us not drown here. Now what speed blessing does is it will increase your growth rate at the cost of higher food and water drain. And it's very good to do unless you're struggling with food drain, then obviously don't do that. You can also combat bless and survival bless. Combat blessing will decrease the amount you need to resurrect your dinosaur, I'm pretty sure, and survival blessing will basically improve all aspects of nesting. I'm hearing footsteps. I'm not liking that. What is that? Oh, it's an Apatosaurus. Okay, we'll go say hi to that guy now. But now that we're at the speed shrine, we can see on our trials that it is now at 33.333%, not bad. Now, once we are at this trial, we're going to see a bunch of different options. We first see sacrifice. Now, sacrificing will match our highest trial at the specific shrine. So, for example, we're at a speed shrine with 11 speed, 6 power, and 4 survival. Now, if I was at a survival shrine and I sacrificed, it would match my highest trial. So that would be speed. So now my speed would be 11 and my survival would be 11 if I sacrificed at a survival shrine. Now pledging is basically sacrificing but kinda worse. Pledging will match your second best trial. So it's only worth pledging on your worst trial. For example, survival is at 4, speed 11, power 6. It's only worth it to pledge at survival so that it would match our second best trial, power. If you pledge it anything else, it just won't do anything. Next we have blessing. This will receive a blessing from the speed shrine, which will make our growth faster. We also have take trinket, which is obviously taking a trinket. Hooray. So now we will grow a bit faster with our speed blessing. Now what pledging also does is in a favor of deities event, if you are pledged to a certain deity, it will increase the attributes of said deity, for example. So if you're pledged to speed and you're in a blessing of the deities event, you will be faster, you will jump higher, that sort of stuff. If you are combat pledged, you will deal more damage. If you are survival pledged, you will, have more health and healing and stuff like that. I'm not sure where that Epa went. Oh well, we'll have to find another one. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, so in one of our trials is sense identified. So you can see ours right now is 12.5%. Not terrible, but when you see a new dinosaur, just sniff it. It's always good. Another pretty important trial to worry about is the biomes trial. Now you can get biomes from just running around normally, but you can also kind of go out of your way to get biomes. Now this is an Ashen teleporter, so I'm gonna just run in here, grab the biome, which you can get by just existing, and then running out. So you should see at the top of my screen, new biome, Ashen Island. Yep, thank you very much. So for my trials, I'm not really worried too much about the water sources because all the other trials will basically compensate for my laziness, you should say. But an important thing to note is you can get negatives on your trials. Now, the higher trials you have, the more, you should say, luck you get for better inherits. But if you have a below net 80%, you can get negatives, so just be wary of that. I'm busy editing that video right now, and I actually realized I forgot to show you how to actually check your percentages, like for all your trials. So what you gotta do is you have to go to creature select. So in order to check your trial percentages, you go to your creature select, you click your dinosaur, and you press this little icon. It'll show your trial percentages. Now on my reincarnation, it is pretty horrendous, but at least we know what it is. Alright, we have just encountered our second shrine. That's just one to go before we can reincarnate. I'm not too worried about other inherits, but you know, inherits aren't a must for Beast Bermuda, but it's certainly very nice to have. A lot of people, they aren't happy with their reincarnation at big growths, which is honestly me a lot of the time, but it's all RNG at the end of the day. So you could have a really good reincarnation, or you can get a really bad reincarnation. What matters is your skill. I don't know. I was supposed to go somewhere with that, but you know. What I generally do is if I'm playing a creature and I'm big and I have good trials and I die, I'll just reincarnate. I won't resurrect. I only resurrect if I'm like below 1.2, I think. Oh, that is a Megaraptor. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's like Kachar Odontosaurus. Or Acro. Hey. Mind if I run past? Oh. Let me 3-call. Scare them off. Yeah, they're scared. Yeah, get out of here. Oh. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just run. Run. Wait, why aren't they chasing me? Oh, no. Oh! There's 4 of them. What the heck? Why is there 4? Um... What are they doing? Why aren't they chasing me? Can you guys chase me, please? I'm feeling kinda unwanted right now. I don't like it. We're just running next to each other. Like a herd. I'm an actor too, guys. Look. Oh well, okay. So now what we need to do is get a few more water sources, I think. So let's take a little sip here. I don't think staying around these guys too long would be very wise, so let us get out of here. You know what? I kind of forgot to pledge at the survival shrine, so thankfully we can pledge at many shrines, which is pretty close to us actually. One thing I do want to get is hunt points, but I think I'll wait for something actually huntable first. Maybe a small weehan, perhaps? Because we love killing weehans. By the way, nerf weehan 2026, please. Remove its jump and reduce... wait, I saw something. I saw a trope. Maybe it went AFK. Oh, he's exploring. Let's kill him. Boom. 5 hunt points. Let's go. 10%. Alright, we're gonna have to kill 10 more of those Tropio guys. I'm sorry. He was probably just exploring, having a good time, and I ruined it. That's what you do when you play Para. Oh, there's a set cloud over there. Okay, let me pledge here real quick. Just in case we meet an unfortunate end. It's a lone acro. Ooh, that's good. Oh, he's using his roar so early. Oh, I feel bad for you. Alright, we're gonna go in. Holy lag. This is kind of awkward. He was hacking. Yeah, he was hacking. For sure. There's no way we lost that. Okay, maybe I should have waited for that second point in persistence. But it's okay, because now we can reincarnate. Our trials are kind of bad, but we have 77 mobility. That is exactly what we needed. Now, to reincarnate, you just click on your dinosaur. You can either click resurrect or reincarnate. We are going to click reincarnate, of course. We can keep inherits, which you can only do, well, which you should only do if you have a good skin. If you have good inherits and you want to reroll your skin for whatever reason. And we have keep skin, which keeps your skin but rerolls your inherits, obviously, which we are going to do. This one rerolls both your skin and your inherits. So we're gonna do keep skin. We're gonna spawn south, and that is the end of my reincarnation guide. I hope this has been helpful to you. Subscribe for a Parasaurolophus video. I'm gonna be getting plus to everything, and I'm gonna grow 10.0 and not die a single time in that video. So subscribe. End video.